Yes. Alright, welcome back to the vlog, guys. It is Sunday. We're having Sunday brunch at Copeland's. They have a buffet brunch here, so just brunching with some friends today. It is chilly out here and windy. Brunch is done. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I got these flowers. This is very nice. Early Mother's Day. Mother's Day's next week. This friend gave these. Alright.
What is it? Good
morning. Happy Monday. Me and Avery out and about, rocking our jean jackets. We just got to the library. It actually feels like a fall morning. It's very sunny, but a cool breeze. I just dropped out your shoe. Yeah, but it feels nice out. Just got to the library. They have a Monday story time and music class. They actually have it Wednesday this week. Today is gonna be a pretty good week. I'm off pretty much all week, Monday through Thursday, and I go to work Friday morning. We went to a music class like maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago, which is really fun. Avery enjoyed it, so hopefully we'll have a good time at this one.
Open, shut them, to your shoulders fly. Now like little birdies, let them fly up in the sky.
Shake, shake. Bubbles, bubbles. She's off. Alright, another fun class. She comes alive when those bubbles come out. I feel like I should get like a mini bubble machine for her room. She just loves them so much. Alright, doing a quick run at Publix. I'm gonna make some wings and sweet potatoes for lunch, but I want to pick up a side salad and then a couple of other things to meal prep for Avery for the week. Generally, whatever we eat, she'll eat, or we'll try to feed her, but certain things she just won't eat. Like certain things that we eat, for example, like the wings I'm making, they're gonna be a little spicy, so you know, obviously she's not gonna eat that, but she'll like have the sweet potatoes and another side, for example, like salmon or something like that. So I'm just gonna get her a few things for the week. She loves yogurt. I always do Greek. Siggy's is pretty good. She also loves waffles. I don't make the ones at home, then this is a go-to. Kodiak protein waffles. I haven't had Jenny's in a long time, but is that it, or is this the peach one? That's my go-to. Where is it? Let's see. Please don't tell me they're out of it. Oh my goodness. There was this one Jenny's ice cream that I loved. It was like peach something. That's almond brittle, lemon. No, they don't have it. Lunch is ready. Some air fried wings, a little Caesar salad, sweet potatoes. Those probably look like Irish potatoes, but those are Korean sweet potatoes that we get from the farmer's market, which are pretty good. So I'm about to enjoy this little lunch. Today is actually Cinco de Mayo. I just texted my friends to see if she wanted to go out to get margaritas this evening, but now that I think about it, it's going to be packed, probably very packed. There's just one place that I go right by the house, this New Mexican spot that's pretty nice, but it's like we could just go on a regular middle of the weekday when it's not so packed and get some tacos and margaritas. Cinco de Mayo. Yummy tacos. Good morning, guys. Just got to the gym. Starting my day off with a workout. I have not worked out in over a week due to my work schedule, so I am sure I will be sore after this workout today. Excuse me. Spinach is done. You want some? Here. Delicious smoothie. So I got some frozen mangoes, spinach, dates, peanut butter, milk, and then sometimes I add yogurt. And that is usually my go-to for my smoothies, and sometimes bananas as well. Speaking of bananas, and I went to the grocery store yesterday, I bought some more bananas, not knowing that we already had some old ones here. So banana bread it is today. I'm gonna make some of that right now. All right, ingredients for banana bread: have your bananas, obviously, some eggs, butter, sugar, baking soda, flour. I think that should be it. I always have to check the recipe for the exact measurements. So the last time I made banana bread was during Christmas. And at that time, I listened to Stanley's suggestion of not adding any extra sugar. And instead, I just put a little bit of honey. So the recipe calls for, depending on how sweet you want it, anywhere from 1/4 cup to 3/4 cup of sugar. 3/4 is kind of a lot. So I didn't add any sugar against my better judgment. It didn't turn out right. I went back to my usual, about 1/2 cup of sugar for this one. And they taste the way that they're supposed to taste. I mean, it's a nice sweet treat. When in doubt, add the sugar.
Underneath the moon, oh, skidamarinky-dink-a-dink, skidamarinky-doo, I love you.
Another day, another library story time this morning. In addition to their normal like music class and story time, afterwards they had a bubble dance party. So that was fun for all the kiddos. Got done doing like some rental property stuff. We currently have 3 rentals, and then our current home is going to be our 4th rental.
The 0 thing you did to send to them is from next stop, right?
Yeah, the new one. So previously we're using this platform called Avail to do all of our rentals. We're moving over to Zillow, so 2 out of 3 of the tenants just renewed, so I sent over the new leases. And then the 3rd one, we actually need to get that rented out in Gainesville. And then this one we've listed to start renting in June. I actually have a couple tours set up tomorrow, and then 1 tour set up today. But the 3 current rentals that we have, 2 in Gainesville and then 1 in Athens, they have all been running very smoothly. We've had great tenants, not much upkeep. We haven't been back to Gainesville since I finished in 2023, but we are gonna go in July after the current tenant moves out, just to kind of get some things together, see if there needs to be any repairs done. But yeah, it's been going pretty smoothly, and then hopefully we'll get this current place rented out in the next couple of weeks. If anybody is looking for a rental, a townhouse in the Cobb area, definitely reach out. It is available. All right, it is pickleball time. This is my first time playing. I'm big into tennis. Pickleball may be a little bit similar. Stanley has really picked up into playing a lot recently, so I'm gonna go out and play today and see how it goes. I had to take a little break. Oh, it's fun though. It is really good cardio. Even though the court is small, you're moving around a lot. We are out.
Everybody come 5 full days.
They have an office in Georgia.
Yeah, they do. But I already.
All right, guys. I am a fan. I am sold on pickleball. I need to find a park, a court to be going weekly and playing doubles. That was a lot of fun, and it was a great workout too. Morning workout done. 2nd workout of the week, but 3rd day of movement this week. So I would call pickleball yesterday a nice workout, nice cardio session. All right, so we stopped by the house. I found some bar stools, and I needed to take some measurements for the island. And as I walked in, it looks like they're done with like all the touch paint, like all the blue tape is off the wall, and the paint looks like done. So that is nice. But anywho, this is the island. It's pretty big, but it's these parts here that now takes up bar stool space, because this is just extra storage that we have on the side of the island, which is nice. But I know 3 can fit. I'm gonna see if 4 can fit, so I'm just gonna take some measurements. So that is 87 inches. Times 3. Okay, so the bar stools are 18 inches wide, times by 4, that's 72, but also think you need space in between. Let me see how many inches you need in between. Okay, I think we'd only Avery. Trying to vlog? I think we'd only fit three in between, given how much space we need in between each stool. Also, we have ordered the stone for the fireplace, so we decided we're gonna do a full length floor to ceiling stone fireplace. And it's a natural stone. It's a ivory white limestone. So very excited for that. And then we're also gonna do wooden beams going across the ceiling, and we finally found somebody to install that as well. Good morning. Oh, my week off has come to an end, and it's Friday, and I am back to work. Early morning shift, 6 a.m. I don't feel like any shift should start before 7 a.m. 7 a.m. is the earliest that I need to be anywhere. It's always rough waking up for these early morning shifts. It makes me think back to the time where I worked about an hour away, and the earliest shift started at 6:30, which means I'm leaving the house around 5:30, which means I'm up before 5 a.m. Now those shifts were rough. But this morning's drive to work was a short 7 minutes, so thankful for that. Wow. They tried to run me into the ground today. What an exhausting shift. Oh my goodness. Alright, I am back home. Today felt like just a classic emergency medicine day, from the busyness to the acuity as far as like how sick the patients are, and just the overall pathology. Like, one thing about emergency medicine is you can literally see any and everything, and you should know how to treat any and everything that can potentially walk through the ER door, ranging from OB/GYN cases to pediatrics to cardiac to neurology, what else, GI, just like the list goes, trauma, ortho, the list goes on and on of the things that you need to know for emergency medicine, which I think people either love that or they hate that as an aspect of emergency medicine. I do enjoy that because, you know, you're not specialized in one thing, you know a little bit about everything. You are specialized in resuscitation, you know, emergency physicians are, but you need to know a little bit of everything, and that always intrigued me in medical school because there was not one thing I was just drawn to and loved so much. I did love the variety of emergency medicine. So today was just one of those days. It was busy from the beginning. What all did I see? So a little bit of gyne, like vaginitis, a little bit of pediatrics. The pediatrics weren't really sick. It was an MBC car accident, and then it was like URI symptoms. I saw a few neuro cases. One was having to kind of figure out, is this a true stroke or is it Bell's palsy? With Bell's palsy, that's paralysis to cranial nerve 7, one of the facial nerves that innervates your facial muscles. So you can present looking like a stroke with maybe like facial droop, but one way to differentiate it is if they have like forehead involvement. With a true stroke, you're typically not going to see like the forehead and eye involvement when you have the facial droop. And so during the assessment, neuro assessment, you should be, you know, asking your patients, can you like raise your eyebrows to see if there's any change in their muscle weakness there, closing their eyes real tight to see if you can see those subtle differences. And on this one, it was key to really getting him to close his eyes tight, because with that, you could see that one of the eye muscles just was not as strong. And that's key, because this is a patient that presented within the window to receive a clot busting medication. If any stroke patient, you know, presents, like, one of the first questions you're going to ask is, when is the last known normal? Because from there, that changes management, whether they get the clot busting medication known as TPA or TNK versus any other kind of management. He was within the window, but that was the only symptom, kind of the droop, and then maybe some subtle eye involvement. So we held off on getting anything. We got a stat MRI of the brain, which did not show any acute stroke, so we just treated it as Bell's palsy. What else? Apart from that, I also had a true stroke, a hemorrhage, and I had to get kind of neuro ICU and neurosurgery involved for that patient. There was a respiratory distress patient that required BiPAP. BiPAP is kind of like a big mask that you put on, and it helps kind of blow air in, so it can help with oxygenation. So if somebody's oxygen is low, it could also help if your volume overloaded, like fluid on your lungs, help kind of push some of that fluid off of you. And so that patient also had to go to the ICU. There was a couple of traumas, like MVCs. One case kind of gives me the chills thinking about it. Like, she was telling me this particular road that she was driving, which is a road that I'm familiar with. She was just going to work in the morning, and there was a car on the opposite side of her coming at her head on, like in their wrong lane, coming at her head on. And unfortunately, she got into an accident. Fortunately for her, you know, no major injuries, but it was a drunk driver. And that's just scary thinking about just this common road, going to work at 5 a.m. and something like that potentially happening to you. What else did I see today? I saw alcohol withdrawal, who you know, required being put on like the CEWA protocol, then Ativan. You know, certain things that you look for alcohol withdrawal. An important question is, when was your last drink? Because then from there you can determine kind of like the timeline of the severity of your symptoms. They can present with anxiousness, tremors, like hands shaking like this, tongue fasciculations, kind of like twitches to their tongue, increased heart rate. So those are kind of some of the signs to look for. And so I ended up admitting that patient. There was kind of like the classic chest pain patient that came in with multiple risk factors and a concerning story and increased cardiac enzymes. So I had to admit her for ACS rule out. ACS being acute coronary syndrome. So thinking about like STEMI and STEMI, angina, things like that. What else did I see today? Patients that missed dialysis, that's now coming in volume overloaded and needing urgent dialysis. There's certain criteria at our hospital, whether you get like, you know, emergent or urgent dialysis, whether your potassium is elevated, whether you appear volume overloaded, meaning you have a lot of fluid on you, so you're either short of breath, low oxygen, legs edematous or swollen. What are some other signs? Increase like BUN, hypertension that's not controlled with like one dose of IV medication. So there are certain criteria for whether a patient will need emergent dialysis. Saw an interesting case of polycythemia vera, and how they presented was due to that. You always have to stay on top of things, like stay reading up on things, knowing the latest treatment. Like, you're truly a lifelong learner, not just in emergency medicine, but in the medical field in general, because you have to be up to date, like on the latest treatment to, you know, provide the best care for your patient. So that's an aspect that just, yeah, it comes with the nature of the job. But yeah, today was a busy day, high acuity, but overall a good day. So today's Friday. This Sunday is Mother's Day. I work tomorrow, but then I'm off for Mother's Day. This is my second Mother's Day. My first Mother's Day, Avery was just a little newborn. She was just around like 8 weeks old. So first Mother's Day with the full year of motherhood under my belt. So Sunday should be nice. I don't think we have any major plans. Maybe we'll probably just go out to eat. Stanley went out of town this morning actually, but he'll be back on Sunday morning. So it's just gonna be me and Avery hanging out this weekend. It's almost 5 o'clock. So yeah, let me go ahead and grab her because the nanny is going to be leaving soon. I'll go ahead and wrap up this vlog here. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Next week, actually, we're going out of town, our anniversary trip, our 7th year anniversary. We're going to take a little cabin trip to North Georgia, so that should be a nice trip. Looking forward to that. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next vlog.